If you're struggling with procrastination, if you're struggling to do the things that you know you want to do, if you're struggling to push through resistance, this video is for you. I want to talk a little bit about my own struggles with procrastination and resistance and just give you a couple of tips, a couple of things that have helped me push through and be consistent. Because if you want to do anything in life, consistency is really, really important, and resistance is going to show up in anything you want to do, any goal that you have. You may have all the energy in the world to do that thing today. You may feel just pulled by some cosmic force other than yourself to do this thing, but eventually something's going to show up. You're going to get tired. You're going to feel some kind of resistance. There's going to be some pull to do something else, something that's easier. And you're going to have to push through. You're going to have to find a way to push through. And I think there are methods. I think there are things that can help if you keep these things in mind. So I want to talk a little bit about them today. So first of all, I didn't want to do this video today. I didn't. I felt like my hair was a mess. I had not a terrible day, but just one of those days that it's just difficult to get things done that you want to get done, and it's not for any particular reason. Nothing really traumatic happened today. It was just one of those days I just didn't feel right. And I think we all have those days, and I think it's important to talk about that, because I think so many people show up online and they look perfect all the time, and it's really easy to compare ourselves to those people and say to ourselves, how am I ever going to compete with that? So why even bother? But the truth is that you don't know those people. You don't know what kind of team they have. You don't know what's going on with them along the way. You don't know, and you can't compare themselves. You can't compare yourself to them. So one of the things I want to talk about is when you want to do something, right? When you really want to do something, I think you need to be honest with yourself and ask yourself if you really want to do this. Really be honest with yourself. Really be honest with yourself if this is the thing that you want to do. Because there's been so many times in my life where I thought I wanted to do something and I wasn't honest with myself because I didn't want to do it. I thought that it was the right thing to do, or was something that other people wanted me to do. And I thought that if I did it, I would make other people happy and I would impress other people. But the truth is, when I looked in my heart of hearts, it was not the thing that I wanted to do. So I spent so much time and energy and emotional everything on feeling guilty about not following through on things I didn't want to do. So if you're not following through on something, I think number one, just ask yourself if this is something you really, really, really want to do. Because there's nothing outside of like taking care of yourself, feed yourself, there's nothing outside of those basic things that you have to do. You don't have to be a certain profession. You don't have to go to school for a certain thing. You don't have to pursue a certain relationship or a certain hobby. You get to choose these things. That's the beauty of life. But if you put yourself on a path where you're consistently forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do, you're going to end up burnt out. You're going to end up in a place where you just can't keep pushing through it anymore. And I've definitely been in that place where I started so many different things, and I wouldn't even say I failed at them because I didn't really try, because I didn't really want to do it. I think I just got to a point where I became disillusioned. Like I realized, oh, this isn't the thing that I wanted to do. But the good thing about that is that when you realize that, just cut your losses. Like you've lost time on that thing you didn't want to do, but now you can go forward and do the thing that you want to do. And some people spend their whole lives doing things they don't want to do. So just whatever point you're at, if you've realized you're doing things you don't want to do, just stop doing them. Stop doing them. I understand that might be difficult. There may be steps to take along the way, but do your best to just stop doing that thing as soon as possible so you can start doing the thing that you want to do, because it's so much more rewarding and you will give so much back to other people by doing the thing you want to do, by being the person that you're meant to be. Doing things you're not meant to do it's not good for anyone. It's not good for anyone involved. You definitely, you don't bring good energy to the table when you're doing things you don't want to do. I know that for sure. I mean, there's been times in my life where I didn't show up. I didn't show up as a good team member because I was doing something that I didn't want to do. It wasn't aligned with me, and I, had I known that sooner, maybe I wouldn't have done it. And I feel bad for anyone who I did cause trouble to for showing up on projects that I didn't want to be on. But you know what? That's just a part of life. And when I've been on teams and someone shows up and I could tell it's not what they want to do, just be graceful with those people because they're trying to find their way. They're trying to figure out what they want to do, and everybody goes through that. So just be mindful of that. So number one, choose wisely. Choose the thing that you want to do based off of really, really, really knowing that you want to do that thing, because don't waste the time on something you don't want to do. It's not worth it. So I think that's step number one, is reconnect to reconnect to the truth about whether or not you want to do something, and then really ask yourself why. Like, why do you want to do this thing? Because if you don't know why, I think you're going to get lost somewhere along the way, because if you don't have a really clear answer to that, it's really easy to get sidetracked and then to start doing other things or to end up on another path when your intention was to stay on the original one. And for me, I think a lot of the things that I did when I didn't follow through with them, when they didn't feel right, it was because I really didn't have a good reason why. And the reason wasn't big enough. The reason wasn't big enough for me and my ambitions. Like, I've had jobs where the reason why I had the job is because I wanted to make money. And that there's nothing wrong with that. There's times in our lives where we have to do that. But it wasn't fulfilling me on a deeper level. And there's been times when the reason why I wanted to do something was to impress someone else. But at the time, I couldn't be honest with myself about that. But once you know that, drop it, because that's not going to help you in the long term. But with this channel, the reason why is because I want to help people. I want to be able to help people follow down a path that's good for them, to find what they want to do in life, to find their purpose. Because I think if everyone in life finds their purpose, the world will be such a better place, such a more beautiful place, such a more peaceful place. So, reasons why. Figure out your reasons why. It's really, really, really important. And one of the next things that I want to encourage you to do is that once you figure out what you want to do and you figure out why you want to do it, decide that it's okay to lower the stakes a little bit. You don't have to show up at that thing 100% of the time. You really, really don't. Like I said today, like I don't know, but my hair was off. I wasn't feeling good. There's times when I don't show up in a video the way that I want to show up. Like, I want to look a certain way. I want to speak a certain way. I want to have my talks organized a certain way. And sometimes I just can't do it. Sometimes I just don't have the energy. I don't have the time. And I've decided to prioritize consistency on this channel over having content that's absolutely perfect, because I think part of what I want to do is show people that it's okay to just not be perfect all the time. It's completely okay. Sometimes all you can do is show up as 50%, and that's better than nothing. That's absolutely better than nothing. If you show up, at least you're continuing that momentum. You're continuing to stay in the space of doing the thing that you want to do, and you'll get something out of it. And chances are, if you show up with 50%, you might be at 80% by the time you get to the end of doing that thing. Like, say what you want to do is a certain sport, or you want to go to the gym every day. Maybe you get to the gym and you're at like 50%. You're not doing well. But then all of a sudden, halfway through the workout, you start feeling better. And you pick up that momentum and you end the workout at 70%. And then okay, wait a second. I can push through. And then you're teaching yourself that when you feel resistance, you can still push through and get there and get the thing done. Like I said, I didn't want to make this video today. I really didn't. But I had to push myself because I knew, you know what? You don't want to do this? This is the time to talk about this. This is absolutely the time to talk about this, because you want to stay on the couch right now and not do anything. And you want to tell people how to get their life together? No way. You got to go make this video. And as soon as I started getting going, as soon as I started getting the cameras together, got up, started moving around, I realized, you know what? I'm going to do this. And I'm happy that I'm doing this because there's nothing else I'd rather do. And sometimes you just have to push through a little bit. Just get your shoes on. Just get off the couch. Just get out of bed. Just put the phone down. You just have to do one small motion that will get you to the next one. So lower the stakes. Embrace the imperfections. I understand that I'm not going to show up 100% every day. Understand that, because that perfectionism will just kill all of your goals. I have so many things in my life where I just took a very perfectionistic road. Like, I didn't want to do the thing if it wasn't perfect, and that just killed so many things in my life that could have been fun, that could have been interesting. So many opportunities with other people, just so many things that had I not had this wall in my mind of how I wanted it to be, who knows how it could have been, right? If you never show up because you can't do something perfectly, you'll never know if eventually you can get it to be perfect, right? And there's no such thing as perfect. Everything is subjective, right? What someone sees as a perfect video, a perfect song, a perfect game, another person thinks is terrible. So just show up to show up sometimes. Sometimes if that's all you can do is show up, then just show up. And the last thing is that I think sometimes we need reasons to do something beyond ourselves. We can't always be the ones to hold ourselves accountable, and try to create systems in place where you hold your friends accountable, where they hold you accountable, where your audience holds you accountable. Like, I'll be honest, I've been seeing some feedback on this channel. I've been seeing some comments. Someone made a donation to my on my Buy Me a Coffee website. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Buy Me a Coffee. And that was amazing. Like, I couldn't believe that. I really couldn't believe that. And when I was sitting there and I didn't want to make this video, I just thought about that, and I thought about, like, wow, this actually had an impact, and there are actually people who watch this. So, you know, that's a reason for me to just stay accountable and to do this and to keep moving forward. And I think that, you know, sometimes we want to do things and we don't give ourselves enough. You know, we don't give ourselves enough of a chance. We don't give ourselves enough of a reason, a deep enough reason to do something. Like, we're sometimes like afraid to go deep and really ask ourselves, like, why we want to do something. And you just gotta go deeper sometimes and ask yourself why you want to do something. And don't be afraid to put yourself in a position where you're being held accountable by other people if that's the thing you really want to do. If you don't want to do that thing, then trust me, that's a disaster. I've been in that spot where I've said I was going to do things and I had other people holding me accountable to do them, and I really didn't want to do them. And that's just like, the pressure of that is terrible. I hope, I don't wish that on anyone. I really, really, really don't. So I would like to just know what it is that you guys want to do. What is it that you want to be held accountable for? What it is that you're struggling with? Please, please, please tell me in the comments below. And I have another video about finding your purpose if anyone's struggling with that. Go a little bit deeper into that and give you some tips, some insights, some things that I feel really, really deeply about. So I'll have that video over here or over here. It'll be somewhere on the screen. But yeah, if you made it to this point in the video, I just want to thank you so much for watching. This channel means everything to me, and I'm really, really grateful to have an audience here. Thank you.